Comments made on the following paid commercial program are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time.
Welcome to the Money and Wealth Show. On the program this week, money commercials and our very special guest, David Ingram.
It's all about money at the HouseStreet.com Money Expo 2010. They'll be talking money, making money, saving money, and protecting assets. See Garth Turner, Michael Levy, Ross Clark, and David Morgan. Plus, visit with industry exhibitors. The HouseStreet.com Money Expo in Langley, February 27th and Kelowna, March 13th. To attend free, pre-register now at HouseStreet.com. That's HOWE Street.com. It's all about money at the HouseStreet.com Money Expo 2010.
Welcome to the Money and Wealth Show. I'm Sterling Fox, and our special guest this week is the president of the Center Group, international tax expert, David Ingram. Welcome.
Well, welcome to you too. Thank you for coming up and interviewing me on this international tax stuff, because I saw you last week with David Skarica, and boy, that was a good one.
Well, you know, we've had the good fortune to feature you on our show so far as our tax tip guy, but here we are approaching the end of the first quarter 2010, and it's time to take stock of the tax reality that's fast approaching. You're an international tax expert. You deal with clients who have activities around the globe. Based here in Canada necessarily, David?
No, I've got clients in 40 countries, and the one thing that came out of my 46 years in business now is that I've sort of inherited all the ends and pieces. And way back when, we were literally the first person in this kind of business to be on the internet. And if you type income tax experts into Google, I come up number 1 out of 26 million. That's nothing, it just came up, and I don't need to know. So as a consequence, people looking for something in international tax, they end up with me. And it fits right in with what David was saying, because he was talking about Greece and the pigs and the euro and the US dollar and what's going to happen. And that's what I do. I look after, for the most part, people that invest out of the country. For instance, we got at least 10, 15 clients that have got a rental house in Greece because they left Greece and immigrated to Canada, or they were transferred over there and they've got a house and they've come back. So they got a Greece tax return and they got a thing they got to do on their Canadian tax return. We got pizza parlors in Portugal, we got almond plantations down in California and avocado plantations, we got Christmas tree farms in Northfield, Minnesota, and people buying oil and gas plays in Oklahoma. You name it, we got somebody doing it. We got gold miners in Tanzania, we got uranium miners in Saskatchewan. Everything that goes on with House Street, we touch, because mining engineers are a big part of it. We had one yesterday transferring to the old Belgian Congo, Zaire. Mm-hmm. Because of that, you get involved in what's it going to cost them to live there, and what do they have to give to as extra money to pay for his cost of living, whether it's in Athens or New York or Milan, doesn't matter.
When you're an internationally active person based in Canada, is it necessary that you file a tax return in Canada along with every country that you have activity going on in?
Well, some of them yes and some of them no. For instance, Canada, and I'm actually glad you asked that question, Canada has just changed its definition of who is a resident for the purposes of taxes. The United States has always had a rule that if you're there for more than 183 days, you're taxable. Canada's always had that rule, and just about every country in the world, from Japan to Indonesia, whatever, has a rule, and if there's a treaty with Canada, they're taxed if you're there and your world income more than 183 days. Canada said you had to be here more than 183 days, but in a technical amendment that they just came out with back in September 21st, 2007, they said, wait a minute, we're going to change that. We're going to say if you're here for more than 183 days at a time, which may go over a calendar year, right? May go over the year end.
Right.
So if you're here for 4 months in 2009 and 2.5 months in 2010, you're here for more than 183 days, we're taxing you as a resident now in your world income. And that's big, big, big. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to charge for it, let alone, it's easy to do, but you know, it's just the kind of thing that people have to pay attention to. And you've got investors that watch this show. And you know, if the investor goes out and buys himself an oil and gas play down in Tulsa, Oklahoma or something or other, or he buys a gold mine in Mexico, or he's got a uranium play in Las Vegas or some such thing, all of which I know have been touched. You've got somebody that's got to wonder whether the U.S. rules are going to be recognized by Canada. Really important, the guys that do that don't pay an awful lot of attention, or don't just buy it because some guy in the States says you can do this. Because Canada has a bad habit of coming along and saying, well, just because it was deductible in Nevada doesn't mean it's deductible in Canada or
True.
BC.
Sure.
And of course, you can buy things, you can be a resident of Alberta or a resident of BC and buy an oil and gas play in the other province that you don't get the investment tax credit for because you live in the wrong province.
Okay. Your best advice, and you've been doing this for over 45 years,
Yeah.
and you keep coming back to the fundamentals. And I suppose the most fundamental piece of advice any tax expert can dispense is, for goodness sake, file on time.
File on time if you can. If you are an American, of course, you can do the automatic extension by filing 4868, and that takes you to October the 15th. Gives you a long, long time to get the thing in and do it right. And I got to admit, 9 out of 10 of our American clients, we just file the extension so that we can do it in comfort in June and July and August and so on, and get the return done in time. What's really important is to make sure you report all your income, because you can have somebody that, I don't know, they've got so many different things. They got an oil and gas play here, they got a T3, they got limited partnerships, they got some income trusts, and they just don't keep track of how many there are. They don't know what there is. And they forget to report $3,500. Tax office comes along, gives them a 50% penalty plus the tax plus interest. So you got to make sure that you have kept track on your tax return or for your preparer, everything that there is that you've been dealing with.
And the more globally active or internationally active you are, I would think the greater the requirement to be organized about it.
Let me use an example.